Well, howdy, partner. Ma'am, I want to thank you all for being here. Today, we're going to talk Texas. And a few other things you might like. Hey everybody, Mark here with the Average Me channel. This is just a little drop-in, a preview of things to come, and show you just a little smidgen of some footage that didn't make it into some upcoming videos. People have been asking me what's going on in the world of the Average Me channel. So I just want to talk about a couple of quick things. I just got back from Texas, and I was actually in West Texas. And I had so much fun because this area I was in, kind of the Midland, Odessa area, is a lot more Texas than a lot of other places I've been. You know, when you go to Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, they're great cities, but they feel like cities. You get dropped down in the middle of Dallas, you know, you might as well be in, Denver or Milwaukee or St. Louis, because a city is a city. But, boy, you get out into West Texas, and it's what I feel Texas is, right? I mean, they got the oil wells, and they got the dust blowing around and the tumbleweeds and the prairie dogs. And it was just a really, really fun week. So the reason I'm dropping in, like I said, I just had a little bit of odds and ends footage that I thought I would tease you with. As you know, I post my travel logs on Wednesdays. And then I do some other things. You know, I do my hotel room tours and that sort of thing, and those just are posted randomly. Generally once a week or once every other week I'll post a hotel room tour. I was in kind of a strange hotel. It was called the Fun Dome. It was an off-brand. I suspect that this place was at one time a Holiday Inn. Remember they used to have the Holodomes? Remember that? And I'll tell you, it might be a fun dome if you're 8 years old, but it had a little putting green. It wasn't even what I would call putt-putt golf. You know, it didn't have the windmill or anything. Just had a little putting green, and I don't know, it was weird. It was just a weird room. I'll be posting a room tour on the Fun Dome, and you can take a look at it. I think it's worth just looking at if you're wondering about a kind of a strange off-brand hotel. Then I did some other things that I think you would really like to look at. I think the first video that's coming up this coming Wednesday. Now, as I make this, it's Sunday, April. The first Sunday in April, not the April Fool's Sunday, but I guess it's the 8th then, right? Today's the 8th. So I think this will be 9th, 10th, 11th. It should break. Is that a Wednesday? The 11th? I don't even know anymore. But in Odessa, they have an exact duplicate of Stonehenge, you know, they're in England, and it's so cool. And I think you'll want to tune in. It's not a real long video. It's, I don't know, 5-6 minutes, but I think it's going to be worth seeing. It was an awful lot of fun. Another thing I did, and if you use your head, you can probably figure out who I'm talking about, but there is a house in that general vicinity that 2 presidents lived in, 2 governors lived in it, a first lady lived in it. I mean, this is a pretty cool, interesting little place. So I got a one-on-one tour. I was able to get a private tour, and that's interesting as well. And I also, by the way, found the residence of a first lady when she was a teenager. So you'll see that coming up the Wednesday following, so 10 days from today. So those are a couple of things that we have going on. I also wanted to talk to everybody about Patreon. If you want to sponsor me on Patreon and see more and more of these adventures and room tours, and occasionally I'll have some things as seen on TV and fix-its, but the travel is most of what I do. If you want to see more of that, I would sure appreciate it if you sponsor me. And as you can see here, I'm mailing some postcards. Those postcards go out once a month to my $3 Patreon sponsors. So if you want to sponsor me for $3, go to Patreon. I'll put the address down below. And you can get a postcard from me each month from all the different places that I go. So, as we've been watching this, you've been seeing some of the different sites around the Odessa Midland area. We have the Pee Wee. This was crazy. They have a place called Pee Wee Dalton's and it's a boot store, but they have a huge, huge steer skull on the building. I mean, if you like that roadside attractions, the Americana, this one was really, really interesting, as well as a few other things. You know, here you can see a pink Cadillac. I couldn't help it. I passed this place, and there, sticking up on a couple of poles, was a pink Cadillac. Just some crazy stuff. It's so much fun traveling around doing all this, and I hope that you join me for future videos. Every Wednesday, I will post a video from a different location, something interesting, unique, unusual that I find. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you come back on Wednesday. I'm Mark with the Average Me channel.